single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
Unlicensed
Therapy with Ari Mannis.
I feel like I know you and I don't even know you.
You don't.
So that's what a podcast is for.
That's right. It's to get to know somebody.
I know you just from being nervous in a green room 2 minutes before I go out, and then I bring you on just from the cold opens at the comedy.
Me being
show.
nervous or you being nervous?
Well, maybe you're nervous.
No,
but I'm
no.
definitely
I was like, oh, you're nervous. Oh, well, you don't show
get
it.
nervous before you go on stage?
No, not anymore. No.
I hope that goes away for me.
It does. How
Some
long have you
people-
been doing it?
8 years.
I think it's because you're not a regular yet.
Like I'm nervous because I want to be a regular?
Well, it's not just that you want to be a regular, but when you're doing that spot, you are being watched. You're
Right.
being judged.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
I think you're right. There's
Yes.
definitely at least partly.
yes, it's partly that
Yeah.
because if this was just at the parlor down the street and they were doing, or actually that's a nerve-wracking show too, but any other show
Because
that
they judge me so hard at the parlor. If you're not like hot.
exactly, if you're not like straight out of the CW,
If you're not like
what is a
Crystalia
troll
before.
doing? Oh yes, before you have to like,
Pre-Crystalia.
right, pre.
Yeah. I get nervous before shows, especially at the Comedy Store, but in general, I'm nervous before even a shitty bar show. I'm less nervous, but
Less nervous.
But I always want to not embarrass myself.
That's a great way.
That's
to
the
look
goal. That's the goal every set.
a great way.
Let's get off stage not feeling like I hate
I
myself.
can tell you a tool. Are we on right now?
Yeah, we're
okay,
on.
great. Because I taught comedy. We probably didn't
I did not know that.
So you didn't know that.
What was your comedy school called?
Well, I was a part of Acme Comedy on La Brea.
Okay,
Remember
I've
Acme?
been there, but
Yes.
I've never performed there or
Yes.
done anything.
I
there.
definitely was there when it was like, in its heyday, one of its heydays, because it was started with Adam Carolla was one of the, co-founders there.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and it was great. When I came out here 20 years ago, it was like the Groundlings or Acme, very similar, almost the exact same.
Wow.
Yeah, the same program
What
to
happened?
get. I know.
You started teaching there?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then they were like, fuck this school. No, Groundlings doesn't have a stand-up class. I brought the stand-up class to Acme, but
Okay.
Acme was great. I started up there. You go up either the improv route, and then it splits off. So once you get to a certain level, you can decide to just go sketch, or you can do improv, or both. And then it's the Sunday Company,
And do they still have
the
this
B
there?
Company,
I've been.
and then
It's a
the Main
beautiful
Company.
room.
Yes,
in Acme.
I mean
Yeah.
the stage over here was stunning. The school
And
was
I'm
stunning.
not even saying it's bad school. I just don't know anyone
No,
who's
it's because
does it
what
anymore.
happened
Yeah.
was it was running great. I came up, Joel McHale. These are all the people that we were all Maz Giovanni.
They went to Acme.
Yes,
They did
all in
improv
Acme.
there.
Improv and sketch. They were in the
Sure.
main company.
Wow.
I was in the main company, but I was in the Sunday company first, and then I was in the main company. It's, again, so similar. So people that would study at the Groundlings, because the Groundlings had such a long wait list, so even if you advanced to the next class, they would be like, you're on a wait list now for like a year and a half.
Right.
So people would go over to Acme,
Right.
and Acme was a faster, you
Yeah.
get there faster, and your goal is to perform. So if you could make it into one of the companies, you were now
Yeah,
performing.
you're not
So
getting
yes.
rusty on the side waiting for the class to open up.
So it was great. I was in the main company there, and I was privately coaching people for stand-up, and that sort of just happened by accident. It was just like hanging out at the Comedy Store or somewhere else, and then you see a comic and they have a joke, and you're like, oh, I have a great tag for that. So you fucking
Give them a tag, and then they'd be like,
you
man.
you build up your nerve to like walk up to this comic, you know what I mean? You're just like, I'm just talking about like a headline or something that you're just like, fuck, I have a joke for you, and then either they're like, go fuck yourself, or they're like, thanks. But I mean, I was walking up to like, I wasn't a regular at that time. I'd started comedy in New York. I'd definitely been doing it a long time, but I didn't know a lot of people. But I
Sure.
was just like, hey, that's such a funny
And
joke.
certain people respond better to tags. Like
Yes.
me, I love getting tags
So-
from some
and
people. I
yes.
don't take them all, but if
Absolutely.
you never
Neither do
know.
I.
You might get
never
a
know.
great tag, and it changes the whole
Absolutely.
joke.
It really does, because the truth is that they're not looking at it from just a comic's point of view. We're looking at it from an audience point of view. We're watching you, so we are also an audience member. So if we're thinking of something and we see a different angle, why wouldn't you say something?
Yeah.
Especially if it's,
Yeah, there's certain comics that are like, even if they like your tag, they'll never do it because they only want to do stuff that they did. Or
Right, which is ridiculous, because once they get to a certain level, they all have writers anyway. So it's like, really, it's
Right.
ridiculous.
Or if they don't, they should.
A lot of them do. I mean,
Spill it.
No, I was at the Comedy Store.
Who's the most famous person with a secret writer?
Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
It's not a secret. I mean,
Yeah, he brings people with him. He literally brings them with him. You go, hey, what are you doing here? I'm one of Chris Rock's writers.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all working together, but when you're at a certain level and you're so busy, there's no way for you to be able to try out new stuff as often as you'd like when you're, a younger comic.
Right.
You're doing movies, you're doing television. You need someone else to who knows your voice, who gets it, So after doing that for a certain amount of comics, people started saying, hey, I'll pay you. Can you just sit down and work with me? And then I thought I should teach a class, and I kind of modeled it after the class that I took in New York, 24 years ago. And it's a quick 4-week class, and I was like, I can get anybody on that fucking stage and give you a solid 10 minutes. And I did. And I taught that class.
I should take your class. I need a new 10 minutes.
It's honestly, do you know how many comics that were already working took my class or just coached with me for like an hour? It really is. Sometimes you get stuck in your own way and you don't see what other people see. Like I can look at you and we can just start talking about your life and I'll be asking you
Pretty
questions.
boring life.
And I'll be like, that's exactly what you should say on stage. You should say that.
Pretty boring life I live.
So you guys know, the pandemic, the quarantine had no effect on me because I've already lived a pretty boring life.
That's it.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like I always tell everyone, I'm like, you can do whatever you want to do. Try to make it as less observational and more personal as you can. Because then it's really like I'm telling you about my experience. You know what I mean? So if I'm on stage talking about the things I learned about myself being in a pandemic, it's not the same things you learned about yourself. And if they are, then we have a problem.
You talk about being a loving man in your act.
So there you go.
Yep. I love women, so we got that in common.
So similar.
You talk about your life and being a cougar.
Which you are fun, as well.
Which I'm a cougar, and now that I'm turned 30,
I'm a cougar.
Old. Yeah. Did you as a cougar, as a self-proclaimed cougar, when all this stuff about young women popped up, are you like, come on, give them a break?
What, the men?
Yeah. Because I was not obviously underage, but like there's all these people tweeting, oh, you can't talk to 18-year-old girls even if it's illegal. It's not right. I'm like,
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, if an 18-year-old girl wants to talk to me, she's old enough to talk to me.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I also come from a different generation, so here's my 2 cents. It might actually be like 3.5
We could edit this out if you say anything you regret
I'm not
later.
going to say anything that I regret. I'm also not going to even use names. Until there is hard evidence one way or the other. There's no way I'm just going to condemn someone and be like, that person's a piece of shit.
Right.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're going to edit that out. I don't know what the reality of it is. All right? You can ask me, do I think that there's a lot of male whores out there that like fuck anything that move?
Sure.
Whether they're in a relationship, married or not, I can tell you absolutely.
Yeah.
That is not illegal. Do I think certain comics specifically troll after girls that are underaged? I honestly don't know, and the people that I know, I do not know that to be true about them. Do I also think that a lot of women pretend to be older to get into comedy clubs? Is you have to be a certain age to get in a comedy club, and if you meet somebody
21, 18.
you have to, you know what I mean? So look, I'm just going to put this out there. When I was 16, I fucked a 24-year-old, and I lied about it. You know what I mean? I lied about it because I was like, oh, I just wanted him to think I was cool. I wasn't even thinking, like, he's going to get in trouble. I just was like, I want him to think that I'm cool. And that was a long time ago. By the way, any woman who's been, sexually harassed, sexually assaulted in any way, shape, or form is a victim, and I feel sorry for them, and nobody deserves that. And by
I think
the way,
most people do. There's not a lot of people going, oh, if you got raped, it's your fault.
No.
There's not a lot of people saying stuff like that.
Well, there are some people, but...
but less and less, I think.
And here's the thing. It's like, I'm not saying that certain women are lying. Do I think some women are out there jumping on a bandwagon and saying, you know what I mean? Well, this person never like texted me back, or he was like really dirty in the bedroom. Well, that's what happens in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. I don't hear anything that you know what I mean? Like that might be weird to you, but
I like to choke women.
Yes, you like to choke women.
Lightly. I like to lightly choke women, but if 20
you're choking
women,
me now.
If
Can you
20
guys see?
women came out and said Ari choked me,
Right.
I
There you
look
go.
horrible.
Some guys like to shit on women. Some guys like to be shit on, like
Yeah.
literally shit on. Like I'm gonna stand over him and shit on you, or like a piece of glass. That's here's the thing. It's like I have a problem. Look, in today's age of social media, I don't think women under 18 should be able to post a lot of the photos they post. And if I was a guy, you know what I mean, looking at some stuff on Instagram or anything else, I would have a hard time being like, wait, how old is that girl? Like there should be, you know what I mean? It should at least be some sort of monitoring that, because there's going to be a lot of women people are always going to lie about their age. We have fake IDs. Again, all of this aside, I do not support the culture that comes with all of that, the misogyny, I came up, I definitely didn't have it as bad as some other women, but there was a lot of times that I went on the road with guys where at the end of the night they immediately go in to like kiss me or come out to my hotel room, or they give me that bullshit. Oh, we have to share a room. I mean, it's, they didn't give us enough money for our own room. It's disgusting. It's gross, and I had to put up with it. And it's a dance that we do in our brain, like in our heads. Like,
is it worth it to go on the road?
Right,
Yeah.
but even before we take that gig, or we go like, oh, let's go grab a drink and like talk about that project you're doing or whatever. And this is for any woman in any industry. We have to mentally do a dance that's like, how do I do this? If he comes on to me, how do I let him down without him feeling rejected?
Right.
And in turn calling me a bitch and not,
So he doesn't want to not take me anywhere again and not give me any more work.
Exactly. Or tell people not to do that. You know what I mean? It's horrible that any woman has to do that.
There's a lot of thirsty male comedians.
Yes. There really is.
And the line goes, hey, we should write together sometime. Anytime a male comedian says to you and you don't know him that well, we should write together sometime, he doesn't want to write with you.
He doesn't want to write with you.
No, he wants to write with your pants.
Yes. He wants to write on your pants and then be like, oh, you're going to have to take them off and put them in the washer now because I got paint on your pants. It says writing on them.
And you know what? I say thirsty male comedians. There's a lot of thirsty men. And women. There's people like sex, and there's a lot of people going for it all the time, but it's just when you're in a public eye and it comes out, it gets complicated. It's a complicated issue.
It is definitely a complicated issue. I mean, there's just a lot of women out there that are like, yeah, this person is successful and hot, and I'm going to fuck him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this generation now, they're so sensitive. Like,
you're not allowed to be a rock star anymore.
You're not allowed to fuck someone and be
else you're abusing your power.
But I mean, it's like, I think back in the day.
Now, if you're a famous male hot comedian that's rich, you're too powerful to have sex with women.
You're way too powerful.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it's like, honestly, it's like, I think maybe in the 80s or 90s, I feel like back then, like maybe guys would like fuck a groupie or, a chuckle fucker, which is like one of my favorite.
That term's so funny.
Isn't that the best term ever?
It sounds so gross. Imagine
it's so gross. It sounds like you fuck clowns. It sounds like you fuck party clowns.
Every time I use that term, someone who's never heard it, they bust up laughing.
They do. It feels like you go to kids' birthday parties and you're like,
they're like, do you have any
who's that guy?
groupies? Yeah. You mean the chuckle fuckers? Oh, they're around. They're gross.
They're around.
Yeah.
They're so, mm-hmm. But I mean, I feel like.
What do you imagine? If you close your eyes and imagine a chuckle fucker, what do you imagine? Describe him or her.
I imagine.
Are there male chuckle fuckers that fuck female comics?
No, that is.
That's not a thing?
No, the reverse is never true. I used to honestly, I had a joke about it.
Uh-huh.
I haven't done it in a really long time, but it was called Drag Along Girl, where I talk about, I go, I'm so tired of seeing all these girls getting dragged along Los Angeles. And it started from being at the Improv, and I forget which male comedian it was, and he was just dragging his like random girl of the night through the crowd. She didn't even like speak. She was like, you know, vision a vacant look in her eye. She looked like a mannequin that could actually move.
And she was a chuckle fucker?
She was definitely a chuckle fucker.
Yeah.
But he was just like, I mean, he might have actually been dating her. I'm not even sure, but I would see like all of these male comics just walking in every night with a very attractive girl that would just be dragged along. Like he's like, all right, and then he would just, you know, stop somewhere and be like, you stay here. Daddy'd be right back. And then he would go.
That might not be a chuckle fucker. That might just be a guy on a date, bringing his date with him.
All right, so maybe it's not a chuckle fucker, but these are women. Like, if I think of like a straight up chuckle fucker, someone who hangs out afterwards and is like, "Here's that was
When
really
I think
funny."
of chuckle fucker, I think of like the girls who hang out at the Comedy Store and have slept with multiple male comedians. Like that's their type.
Right, it's their type. They're not unattractive. They're thirsty in a different kind of way. Like you know right away.
For me, when I close my eyes and imagine one, they're usually, not always, alcoholics, smoke cigarettes, and sometimes a bit chubby. The average chuckle fucker. Like a chubby alcoholic who likes male comics.
That could be like anybody that likes anything. A chubby alcoholic. I feel like that's half of Los Angeles.
Yeah, true.
So
that's half of people these days.
yeah, right now there's a lot of fucking.
But
chubby
whenever I date a
alcoholics.
girl, they're always concerned.
That what?
You know, I've had some jealousy issues with women in the past because, you know, I'll go on the road and they understandably don't know what's going on and they just know I'm performing for a bunch of people. And they think, girls are throwing themselves at male comedians.
Are girls throwing themselves at you?
No.
I'm not saying.
I always say, I'm not Crystalia. Girls are not throwing themselves at me. And when they do, it's never the ones you want. It's always chubby alcoholics.
That's why you associate that's with chuckle fucker. Yeah. If you were slightly more attractive, maybe they wouldn't be as chubby.
I'm working on it.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I got a haircut. I went hiking today.
It looks really good.
Thank you.
You're like rocking the quarantine.
I was listening to a podcast of you on my hike to get to know you before I get to know you.
Which podcast was it?
It was you. It was on some. I tried to find.
Is it my podcast?
No, I tried to find.
Why did you listen to my podcast?
Because you haven't been doing it.
I know, because I'm switching platforms, everyone, and the new one is coming out. But there's still 10 amazing episodes that you can hear.
I'll check those. But no, I wanted to hear the most recent podcast you had been on.
Oh God, I don't even know what
and
that is.
You were on. I don't remember the name of it, but it was. You were talking. She was like 58. And married to a policeman.
Oh, Vicky from the Real Housewives of Orange County. Yeah.
Oh, she's on. That's one of the Real Housewives of Orange County.
She's like the original. She's the OG.
But you were talking about. You were basically both promoting Botox and facial. What are they called?
You mean like fillers?
Surgery?
Well, it's plastic surgery. It's plastic surgery.
Is a filler considered plastic surgery?
No, it is
Botox?
not. No,
like they have to cut you
Botox.
open.
Yes, but filler and Botox is non-surgical. So yes.
Do you think
she's had everything though? She's had surgical, filler, everything.
Right. Yeah. She said she had just got a facelift and nose job and boob job, and she said she had 7 boob jobs.
She had a lot.
What, is it because they messed up the first 6 times?
Sometimes
you have to get
it happens.
Them updated?
I feel like I don't know how old she was when she got her first one, but they definitely switch over to like better versions that feel, more natural. And sometimes though, if there's like a leak in one, which just sounds horrible, I don't have a boob job, everyone. These are real.
Those are just natural beauties.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'm not allowed to say that. I take it back.
You can say it.
Okay, natural beauties. Okay,
no, but you're not allowed to make tasting noises.
Okay.
You can say natural beauties, but nothing
else.
Lips.
You just have to say natural beauties with a straight face and then
look
up
somewhere.
while you say it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you have to get sometimes they do. Sometimes you do have bad surgery.
Do you think that I should get Botox?
No, but I know men that have.
What do you think? Is there anything I could do that would make myself more appealing to the opposite sex?
Are you seriously asking me?
I'm not saying I want it, but I'm open-minded.
No, because now you're like asking me to like look at you and judge you by your looks.
Critique
and be like, oh my God,
I have
you did
crow's
this.
feet.
No, you don't.
When I smile, I do.
Smile. No, you look like you have Botox now. Like you're barely smiling.
I have.
Guys look good with wrinkles, though. That's what's so fucking annoying.
Hair implants.
Oh, now
Should I do that?
You know what's really funny is that if you had listened to one of my podcasts, I had my plastic surgeon on, and we talked about the difference. It's obviously the bad
Calf
stigma
implants.
that you should totally get them. And I do have fucking amazing calves. So
Natural, all
yes,
natural.
yeah.
Man, you're just all
Let me
natural
see
beauty.
your calves. Hold on.
I have pants on. They're decent. They're cut. They're thin, but they're cut.
Mine are ripped, people.
What do you do? Stairmaster?
It's hereditary.
What's the
by
secret?
The way. It's
Is
hereditary.
it? Wait, seriously?
Yep.
What do you mean? You can't work on your calves?
No, you can work on your calves, but I have my father's calves,
Mm-hmm.
which thank God is like pretty much the only thing I have of my father's. But they've always been, and I've always been athletic, but they've always been massive. And I know people that work out constantly that don't have. It's genetic. It's genetic. Your
I
body's actually, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
predispositioned
have
to
a
be
thin
like-
frame. My
Yes.
parents are both small
Right.
people. So
They're
I'm
pocket
stuck.
people.
They're Jews.
Well, so am I. So
Are
there we
you?
go. Yes.
Gross.
I know.
I saw another guy who got his fat. He didn't get lipo. He got his
Fat transferred.
No, he got it like
Frozen.
set in a way where his fat looked like he had abs, but it was actually just his fat twisted.
That seems like the most expensive way to get out of doing crunches. Like, just fucking do.
I don't like it.
I don't like crunches.
I don't
either.
like working out.
Neither do
I force myself everything
So do
time I
I.
do it.
I force myself.
It's forcing.
Everybody who's like, I love it. I love working out. They can go fuck themselves.
And they're like, oh, the more you do it, the more you'll love it. No,
No.
I've been doing it my whole life,
my
and
whole
I've never
life.
liked it.
I'm way older than you, and I feel like at a certain age, you should be able to just stop, and that's the body that you have. If we all knew that, like at 40, whatever shape you're in, that's it.
Then I'd work
You
really
can
hard at
yes,
39
we all
to
would.
40.
And by the way, I think people work out the most 30 to 40 because in your 20s you're like,
You don't
oh,
need to.
you don't. You
Your
walk
metabolism.
you walk to the bathroom. You're like, that was my workout, and then you hit 30, and then everything slows down, like in an overnight way. You're just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened? So from then 30 to 40, you have to work out really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I worked out really fucking hard, and it never ends. It just gets worse.
And that's not
Something
what I
to
want
look
to hear.
forward to now.
Yeah, maybe if here's where you could give up is you get married, then you get fat.
And then you give up, and then your spouse is like, you're a fat slob. I'm going to look over here.
Well, they weren't the right ones then.
That's
Because
right.
I'm looking for unconditional love from a girl who will love me no matter what and be loyal and faithful. And really, it's the trick is, I think, you find a girl that needs you too. So it's like really dependent upon you.
It sounds
And
healthy. It sounds
yeah.
so
So
healthy.
if I found a girlfriend that just didn't have a job, no skills, no social skills, no friends,
You live in Hollywood. That shouldn't be hard. How did you?
is that most girls? Yeah. Basically,
No,
what I
that's
want
not
is
true.
a sugar baby. I think.
You want a sugar baby. You don't even
Except
want a sugar mama.
I don't have money.
So that's the
but-
problem. No, you
yeah.
need a sugar mama.
Yeah.
Or you need a sugar baby that's like a trust fund baby. A sugar trust fund baby.
Have you ever had a sugar baby or a sugar daddy?
No, I've definitely not had a sugar daddy. No, and I've not had a sugar baby either. I've definitely just had, no, maybe I've had a sugar baby, I guess.
Have you had a boyfriend or a boy toy that after you see him, you're like, hey, you need some money? Here's a few. Here, go get yourself something nice.
No,
Broke
I
him
haven't
off a
done
little.
that. That's
All right,
hilarious.
you've never been a sugar mama then.
Well, I haven't been a sugar mama like that, but I've definitely like
Taking one
dated-
out to eat or something?
Yeah. Like I'm like, I got this. But that's more like I'm making money right now and you're not.
Yeah, I
and
always feel
eventually
that way
one day
too.
you will.
Yeah, whenever I'm with someone, I always feel like either you pay for yourselves, or if one person's significantly more successful, then that person should pay. And that's not even a gender thing. That's just like, hey, if you have $50 in your bank and I have $100,000, I'm gonna pay for you.
Right.
That's just common.
And then that person who
courtesy.
just was like, I'm going to pay that $100,000. Now you're going to have to fuck me.
That's the old school way of thinking. And in my mind, I'm like, hopefully, because I paid, she fucks me. But if you don't want,
let's flip it.
If you don't want to, that's okay
Let's
too.
flip it. You went out with a woman.
A woman, and she
and
pays
she
for me.
paid, and now she's like, no, you're going to have to fuck me.
Here's the thing. I don't think that's right if she said that, but I wouldn't out her for saying that to me. I'd be like, I don't agree. I'm not going to fuck you, but I understand your dumb
And
way
then
of
she's
thinking.
like, okay, well, then you owe $75 for dinner.
Then you have to pay me back for dinner. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I will, just to get her off my back, I think.
Would you make payment plans for that? Or
I would have to. I don't have $75. $75 is a lot of money.
nobody has it.
yesterday I was looking up land in the Malibu mountains, and I was like, maybe I'll get a land that's hidden, and I'll just park an Airstream on it. Even though you're probably not allowed to do that, I'll just do it.
Right.
And then I'll have my own spot that I own.
You can build a tiny house.
Build a tiny house, or just I'll live in a trailer. Some people are anti-trailer. Some trailers to me are really nice, and it's all I need. I'm cool with a trailer.
Do a tiny house.
But it was still several $100,000 for the land.
Yes.
And then here's the real thing that scared me away is those properties in Malibu that are on the cheaper side that are hidden away are an hour from here. It's like I might as well live in Orange County.
Yes.
Might as well live or towards Yucca Valley or something like that.
No one wants to live towards Yucca Valley.
Yeah, it'd be horrible, but
Do
might
you
as well.
really want to live in Malibu?
It'd be nice, but I don't want to commute an hour to go anywhere.
No, and that was the thing when I moved, going to work in the morning is like 45 minutes. Now, if I had to go to work, it'd be like 23 minutes. But
Where's the studio that you work at?
at Culver City.
Okay, that's not too far.
No, but coming home, it was like almost an hour every single day. It was just so annoying. But having said that, I love my house so much that when I get home, I'm like, worth it.
And you were talking about how you're adopting a kid?
Yes.
You're doing that?
I don't know why, even though I already know like all the facts of my life, that it sounded
You're
like
actually doing
you
that?
were going to say adopted a kitten. I don't know why I just automatically was like,
You could
a
get
kitten.
both.
I have a cat.
You already have a cat.
I do.
What about dog?
I don't have a dog.
You don't like dogs?
They're okay.
Your kid's going to be a cat-loving, horrible. You're raising another cat lover. You shouldn't be able to have kids. People with cats
What? People with cats, what?
shouldn't be able to have kids. They're not normal people.
Really? I feel like they're the most normal people.
I have a snake. That's normal.
Yes, okay, exactly. That's
pet
normal.
Western hognose
Why don't you just
snake.
get a parrot and call it a day?
Parrots would be cool. They're dirty. That's the reason I don't want a parrot. But they're cool animals.
Nobody
they're cool creatures.
wants to date a guy that has a snake.
But they would a parrot?
No, but I'm saying it's equal.
Yeah. No, I think more girls would date a guy with a parrot than a snake.
Yeah, because it's like the novelty of like, I want that parrot to say my name.
And she never
And
would.
then the parrot says like some other girl's name. Fuck.
Every girlfriend's just trying to get it, so it ruins the parrot for all the rest of the girlfriends. What kind of kid are you getting? Asian, white, black?
Well, as I'm like looking through the catalog now, and whichever's the cheapest.
Oh, so Asian, Southeast Asian.
Well, right now they're the cheapest.
But those trends change.
They will.
Could be South American. Would you ever get a South American one?
I mean,
Is it racist to say this?
yes, all of it is.
It is? I didn't say anything bad that one's better or worse than the other. But
This is all terrible, and we're all kidding. And
I'm
that's
just
the problem
saying,
with society. We're just going to get canceled.
when you adopt
You're
a kid,
getting canceled because of this.
this is just the facts of life. When you adopt a child, there's kids of different races,
There are?
and you have to pick one.
You don't. I just want to be a mom. I'm taking whatever baby I
You're
get.
just taking a random baby. You're taking a lottery. You go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that baby.
It's not even that easy. It's like the adoption process is so complicated and so it's amazing how complicated it is.
You'd
and
think they would
expensive.
just want. Well, let me ask you. I don't know much about orphans in America. Is there a shortage of babies?
No,
Is there
all
a
right,
surplus
so-
of babies?
You're thinking though, which most people do think, that if I was going to foster to adopt, that's a completely different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Foster to adopt is I could get, depending on what I want, a newborn to like, a teenager if I was open to like everything.
Right, but you don't want one that's already
I'm
fucked
not
up.
doing no. I don't want.
Yeah.
I want to do the fucking.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna fuck up my kid but me. No, I just because I'm single, and the foster system is people that I have a lot of friends that foster to adopt, and several of them had a successful adoption because of it, and a couple of them did not. They lost the kid.
yeah.
It's heartbreaking, but they
Wait,
gave
like
this,
the kid died or just
no, like
went
you
back
have the
to,
kid for a couple of years, and then it has
And
to. The kid goes back to the birth mom or and
whatever.
it's
Yeah.
traumatic. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I just didn't feel like, as someone who's single, I just was like, I don't know if I could do that. So
The process.
I think
Yeah.
it would be. It's just a lot. So I just went up straight for adoption, which is a little different. So now I'm waiting to be matched with a birth mom. I'm waiting to be matched with someone who's
Oh, so
pregnant
the
currently.
mom picks you kind of thing.
Yes, it's like dating. Well, I pick
Got
her,
it.
she picks me. It's like
Got it.
I get sent a profile and I read about the birth mom and the birth dad, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm going to send you
So
my
this
information.
is a pretty long process you've been
really
going through
long.
that.
It's really long.
And is it stressful?
It's really stressful and long. Yeah.
Do you ever have days where you're just like, fuck it, I'm just not going to do it. This is too hard.
I mean, I've always wanted to be a mom. I definitely still have those like, as you could like meet a guy who's got kids, maybe that'll be enough, or maybe meet a guy who doesn't want kids, and it's like you have to, I have
A
days
new
like that.
divorced dad.
Yeah, newly divorced.
Hot.
That's so hot.
Could be Chris.
No,
Talia.
I don't think he's married.
Oh, yeah.
He was though. I mean, actually, I don't want newly divorced. I want like a year, at least a year. So that he's
Single
all-
dad. Never divorced, bastard kids.
Bastard kids. What about no? I want a dad who's unfortunately lost his wife.
Tragically. He loved her
Tragically.
and
Loved
treated her
her.
so great.
So great, and she passed away, and he's just a widower and has, this kid.
That would be attractive.
That'd be so hot.
That would be pretty hot.
So hot. It would be. You know what?
They should have an app for that. Single dads who lost their wives.
Single widowers.
Single.
Widowers.
Single
plenty
widowers.
Of widowers.com.
Dude, that's an app. That's
I
a
can't-
$100,000 idea.
I feel like that it has to be an app. That is.
If it isn't, it should be.
On the other side too.
Yeah. I don't really want to date a single mom,
You
but
don't? Well, it's
maybe
'cause
I
you're-
will. Maybe I will when
you're
I'm
30.
when I'm your age, when I'm in my how old?
I'm not telling you.
No, I
I'm in my
didn't want
40s.
to say. I know.
No.
I
Anybody could
Googled
Google
you.
it.
Yeah.
Like everybody could Google it.
It's funny that I put my age on my IMDb when I was 22 and freshly
that's when
moved
you
to
do
LA.
it. Mm-hmm.
And as I turned 30, I go, I wish I could take my age off of the internet, and you can't. It's too late. But there's some people who knew that from the start, and their age isn't on the internet.
I know. Actually,
Those people are
you
smart.
can pay enough money to get it removed.
Oh, I'll pay. How much? Who do you
I don't
you know
know.
a guy? You know an age guy?
No.
An
I need
age remover guy?
Should get that.
That's better than any
Isn't that funny?
liposuction you could get.
It's so funny because when you're younger, you just want a guy to make you older.
Uh-huh.
I know a guy, give you fake ID, make you older. And now we're like, we need a guy to make us younger.
Yeah, take my birthday off my IMDb. I actually emailed IMDb
You did?
and asked them to take it off. They
They
said
said
we
no.
don't do it. We don't do that.
God.
But that's one guy there. You find a guy there, you slip him some money who works at IMDb.
How much money do you think that costs?
How much money would you be willing to pay?
I mean, honestly, I don't
You
care.
might not care at this point.
I don't care. Everybody already knows.
I'd pay $1,000.
$1,000, that's it.
One-time fee removes my birthday
What
off
about
the
when
internet.
you're 35?
Oh, like that might go up. Might be
Yeah.
1,500.
Might be 2,000.
At 35, I give up.
You don't care.
Yeah, I'll be like you. I just whatever. People know I'm old.
Old?
35 is not old, but it's like not young either.
It is actually human. You're an adult.
Yeah, you're an adult.
You're no
man.
longer a young adult.
Right now, even at 30, I don't think anyone would consider me a young adult.
No, you're not. You're an adult.
Yeah, I'm an adult. My parents had me when when they were my age,
Whoa, all right.
and
So
I
stop
don't even have a
bragging.
girlfriend, and I'm poor. A lot to live up to.
Guys, this one's available.
Do you think I should adopt a kid? Can a single male adopt a kid too?
Yes.
I can adopt a baby.
Yep.
I'm surprised no like vloggers do that as like just a vlog project. Like here's my process of adopting a baby. Here's my
I'm going through it.
Are you gonna vlog it?
Well, I'm sort of just like recording it.
Yeah. You should start a YouTube channel dedicated to you becoming a new mom, a single mom.
I should.
I
It's
think it
sort
would be
of
a
part
big.
of my
I'd
podcast.
watch that
It's
actually.
sort of part of my podcast, but I mean, I guess I could.
When you were doing your podcast.
It's one's coming out like tomorrow.
All right.
I think it's going to be a lot of me posting nothing because there's a lot of waiting.
But that's part of it today. It might be an update every month, but today we're doing this part of it. Today we're doing this part.
All right, I'm going to do it, guys.
I think I'd watch it.
That was
I'd
the best
subscribe.
advice. All right.
That's the good,
Well,
really
then
good
at least
advice.
I have one subscriber.
There you go, one. And you'd probably get a lot of subscribers. Do you get fans from the show that you write on?
Yeah.
Because you're on
because
it
I'm
too,
on it
right?
too.
But how does that work? Is it like, are they short someone one day and they're like, hey, one of the writers, get in there?
No.
I mean, I'm sure they've booked you as well for being a
Yes.
funny comedian, but does it also work where one day like someone cancels and they're like, Jodi, get in there?
Well, there's only one seat that I would be. It's like seat 5. So I got booked straight. Just
Regular.
regular.
Yeah, booking
just
style.
regular style season 1, and then I was sort of put into that rotation. So most times I know that I'm booked ahead, and there have been a couple times that I've had to fill in at the last minute.
It does happen.
It does.
Okay, I was wondering about
but
that.
it's not like the day of. It would be like a
Week
day
of.
before. No, day
Oh, a day
before. Day before, 2 days before, we'd get a call that so and so.
Because it would make sense that they would just do
But-
it, give one of the writers that knows the show really
Right.
well. And
But if say we had Jamie Kennedy booked and he canceled.
Which he probably never does.
No, it's not. But I'm not going to fill in for him. You know what I mean?
because he's a male,
Because that's the seat 6 is like a guy's seat.
I should have watched the show before.
You should have. You have no idea.
Byron Allen,
Yeah.
nice guy.
Very nice.
How often do you interact with him?
I mean, when we're there, I don't see him. He's so busy.
Because he has like 100 shows or something.
And he owns the weather.
And
got
and you're doing. I heard you talking
yes.
about that. I've never heard of the comedy show. I think I've seen people post about because it's in our circle.
Yes.
The weather one,
The world's funniest weather.
world's funniest weather.
It is on, I think it's on, God, is it on KCAL here on Sundays?
Have
But
you
it's
ever been
on
recognized from that?
It's on the Weather Channel as well.
Does anyone watch that? Be honest.
Honestly, it's one of the highest rated shows on the Weather Channel. And in the block that they air it on Sundays, it gets a huge ratings.
So people watch it.
Yes, people I think in Middle America watch it.
Do you have fun?
And my dad.
I've never seen it, so I'm not judging. I'm just genuinely wondering. Do you have fun doing it?
Yes.
So it's cool. Like you want people to see it.
Yeah, it's a clip show.
Some of these shows that I get auditions for, they sound so bad to me, but I'm like, I'll do it because
Of course.
no one watches it anyway. So it's really just a paycheck.
Here's the thing. No, well, we've all done stuff like that where it's a paycheck and it's experience, and you never know who that person who hired you, where he's going to be in 3 years, and you know what I
that
mean?
too. Yeah.
No, the world's funniest weather it's just America's funniest videos, but with weather clips.
I
And-
didn't know there was that many weather clips.
Well, some things are weather adjacent.
Do they ever make fake weather clips for you to?
No, these
'Cause
are all
they're-
videos straight off. Or you could we say at the end of every episode, if you have
Send
a
in your
funny,
weather clip.
send it in, you make some money.
And are they old?
Some
clips are from
older.
the 90s.
Yeah. Some are
Okay.
from the 80s, some of the weather reporters
So
from
it's not
different
like
countries.
you can't get the actual forecast from watching this show.
No, that's not what it is.
Got it.
But what they've done, which I think is really fun and unique because I've done a lot of clip shows, is they put me in the scene.
Oh, in the clip.
Yes, I'm in the clip. So all of my stuff is on green screen,
Uh-huh.
and with specific clips, I have to match up and see them, and they actually put me in the clip. So I'm reacting to the people, I'm dancing, and they're
Uh-huh.
really good at actually if it's cold outside, they add the effect of your breath. They'll add a shadow for it's
Cool.
really fucking cool.
Can I watch that on YouTube or only KTLA?
No, yeah, you can they've got clips on YouTube.
Okay. I'm gonna
They don't
check
show
that.
whole episodes, but they show clips, and they're really funny.
The clips are the best part.
Here's the thing.
Does anyone watch whole episodes of shows anymore?
I don't know.
Even late night shows, SNL, it's all clips now.
Here's the thing. There's so many platforms right now. Everyone's a star and no one's a star. It's there's so many shows out there that unless it's something like SNL or even
you could be traveling and tell someone that you're on a real television weather clip show, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, my neighbor does one too." That's cool.
but even if you're on a show on NBC,
right.
people are like, "Oh, I don't have cable. I
Right.
don't watch it anymore."
Right.
Nobody
Exactly.
that's
Unless
what I mean.
you're on one of
unless you're doing
Game of Thrones.
Exactly. 8 minutes on Quibi. I don't
It's
know what
kind
you're
of cool.
talking about.
No one gives a shit anymore.
That's great. Yes,
Oh,
it
you're on
does.
TV? Yeah, my friend's on TV.
Everyone's
That's
on TV.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. That's
Everyone's
cool.
on TV.
I do my podcast.
You're on TV.
Yeah. We're on TV right now.
Right now.
Right now, it's 4K. We're playing on everyone's TV. This thing gets hundreds to 1,000 listens.
So those people, if they're
We're stars.
is this going
This
to be?
is going to make you a star.
If they want to watch this on their television, you're on television right now.
Get ready for your Weather Channel show
To blow the
double
fuck
in
up.
ratings after doing this podcast.
We're on-
Double.
We're on hiatus right now.
Is everything is right? Is your other show on hiatus
Yeah,
too?
I was very fortunate that we worked all the way until like mid-June on both shows.
You could still pay the mortgage on your new house. You're safe.
Safe.
Okay, you don't need to get a sugar daddy.
I don't know. Do you know one?
I could find them. Do you have any issues
You are millennial. That's right.
or problems in your life that I could help you with?
I don't know. I don't know if I trust your.
Oh, you should. I'm wise beyond my years.
Did you take?
Super mature.
What was your major in college?
Film.
Okay.
And digital media.
Oh, so I feel
But I
like you're
care.
qualified.
I care.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And I listened to over 100 episodes of Love Line with Dr. Drew.
Oh,
growing
shit.
while I was in high school.
Oh my God, you're practically a doctor.
And my dad's a doctor too.
Oh my God. All right.
So,
it's
emergency room, but emergency room kind of has a base of everything.
Did you watch Lennox Hill? Great docuseries.
I'm not as old as
Seriously.
you. I don't know what that is.
It's on Netflix.
It's on there right now?
It just came out.
Sounds old. I don't know what it is. Lennox Hill?
Yeah, it's a hospital.
No, I've never seen it. But
You should watch
it's
it.
because I know more than the show. So
Oh,
it's like
that's why.
watching that would make me go.
It made
I
me
know
think of
all
it because
this
there's an
already.
emergency room doctor, and I was thinking to myself,
I should watch it with my dad.
You should.
Father's Day already passed. I'm not going to watch TV with him for another year.
No, absolutely not. All right, so do I have a problem that you can help me with? I mean, how do I get like a baby in the next 3 months?
You don't think it's going to happen through this adoption thing?
No, it will, but I want one now.
But so that might take longer. You're saying that's going to take longer than 3 months potentially.
probably.
And if you want one now,
Yeah, how do I get one now?
have you
How
ever
can I
thought,
fast-track
okay,
the
here's what you
adoption?
do.
Okay.
You find someone with a kid, you become the godmother, and then you murder them and get away with it. That's not real. Okay, let's think of a real way for you to get a kid.
I mean, it's not. I've seen a lot of true crime shows.
I mean,
just
it's
like that.
possible. It's possible, but you're too weak to murder.
So weak.
But
you haven't seen my calves.
Yeah,
One
yeah?
kick
You can't
with
murder.
the calf.
I can't.
Murder by calf.
You put on
And then
this
I take her
tough
calf.
exterior, this tough personality, but
Do
if
I?
you,
Is that
if you,
honestly? Is that how you see me? That I put on a tough
No,
exterior?
not really. But but also not like a weak, girly personality either. If that makes sense.
How do you see me when you would come into the comedy?
Neutral.
Store? Just neutral.
Not tough like intimidating or anything, but also not
Not soft.
either. Yeah.
Not
Right where
like-
you want to be. You're right
not
where you want to be.
margarine and not like hardcore butter that's been in your
But
fridge.
female
for-
comics aren't really soft. It's tough. Like you said, it's tough being a female comic. You have to put up with
Yes.
guys hitting on you. You have to go on the road. It's not a job. Like people always say, there's an issue. Why are there so many more male comedians than female comedians? It's more complicated than sexism and all that. It's a job that most girls wouldn't want to do. It's not a.
I think I guess a lot of girls wouldn't want to do. I mean, I feel like more and more want to do it now or feel like, oh, I can do it. It's that stereotype that women aren't as funny as men. And
Yeah,
a lot
I
of-
mean, some people call it a stereotype. Some people call it science, and it's however you
you're
want to
right.
look at it.
Your dad's a doctor. I don't know why I'm arguing with you. It feels
No,
weird.
there's a lot of really funny women. There's also a lot of really unfunny women, but there's also tons of really unfunny
Well,
men.
yeah, you already just
Yeah.
said it. There's less of us. It's funny
There's
because
less,
I
yeah.
would say when I would teach the class, I'm like, the reason that people say men are funnier than women is because there's just less of us. So
Yeah,
if
there's
you
so
go,
many more
If you
male
see a
comics.
show with 10 comics, 7 of them are men, 3 of them are women, 2 of the women suck, 1 woman is amazing, and then out of the 4 guys suck and 3 guys, you're still gonna walk out of there being like,
Oh, men are funnier. Yeah,
Yep.
no, I agree 100%. But where were we going with this? Oh yeah, you're just neutral.
I'm neutral.
And I'd say most women in comedy are because it's tough to be a female comic. It's like having a bunch of older brothers. Kinda.
older brothers that want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Which
And some of them want to, and their friends want to. Having older brothers, and then
They-
the
yes.
older with their friends.
your older
with
brother
them.
wants to fuck you, your brother's friend, your brother's dad,
Your brother's-
yes,
brother's boss.
brother's boss, your brother's sister. I mean, it's just actually instead of me asking you, why don't you tell me now that you got to know me a little more, what you think I need to work on?
I thought about this when you said you wanted to adopt a baby because you also talked about how you wanted to meet a man and
Yes.
meet a husband or
Yes.
potential husband. Aren't you worried that having a baby could scare off a potential mate?
Yeah, but then I guess they're not the right guy.
The right guy is going to be okay with you having a baby.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't you think?
I mean, sure, there's so many people out there. There's going to be a guy that's okay with a baby, but I do think it will.
Might limit.
It might make it that much harder.
But at the end of the day.
Which is more important, baby
yes,
or man?
At the end of the day, yes.
You'd choose baby.
Well, I mean, right now, there's
if
no
right
man.
now there's a baby and a man, which hand do you grab?
The baby.
The baby. Okay, there you go. That answers that. See, I would choose if there was baby and
You'd
woman.
choose the man.
I would choose the man or woman.
I mean, here's the thing. If I started dating someone now during the adoption process who was like, I don't want any kids, or I have kids, I don't want any more kids, but I promise you I'm going to be enough, that would be a serious, I would really have to like think about this though, about he's going to be enough, we're going to have a great life, and you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm not open to that. It's never happened. That was
Right.
what I would say if I met a man. Like I was like, I've always wanted to be a mom, but if I met someone who was like, we're gonna travel, this is what we're gonna do, or he already had a kid and he didn't want any more kids, but we were in love, then maybe I wouldn't be going into this process. But that person never came. So, you know.
I feel bad.
For me?
Yeah.
Or for the guy?
It's sad
You should feel bad for the guy.
Never came.
That's right.
That guy is
Fuck
just out there
him.
right now.
Well, he doesn't know.
Doesn't even know what he missed out.
I'm right here on Melrose.
He missed out.
Oh, should I have not told people where we are?
No, it's fine. It's available for rent. MelrosePodcast.com. This podcast studio is available
Thank you.
to anyone. Hey, your podcast clearly needs a new home. It's not.
I have a
You're
pool
not
house.
releasing it. Oh yeah.
That's why I was setting it up.
Okay. I'm gonna play a couple calls here for us to help.
Oh, good.
This is a little time for you to help others.
Oh, it's my time. Okay, I have to give them
We
advice.
both. I mean, we both can.
But it should probably be me.
Yeah, we both will. This is
I
from.
have the bigger calves. So.
You have better calves. So if they're asking for calf advice,
or anything related to calves.
you also have shoes that really highlight your calves.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, like
high top, Fila. Those are stylish shoes.
I'm really fucking stylish.
Why though?
What do you mean? Why?
Do you watch like the Bravo now? Or where do
Yes.
people learn about style?
I didn't know anything about style, and then I turned on Bravo one day, and I
Is
was
that
like,
true?
"Oh my god, no!"
Where do girls learn about style?
What do you mean? Where do we learn about style?
Where do you
by
get-
the way, all girls are
Like,
not
where
stylish.
did you learn that those shoes were stylish? Because those are like stylish shoes. I see they're trendy girls walking around in them. Is that how you learned too? Same as me?
Yes. Well, I mean, no, I saw them probably on someone or in a magazine or in a store. I saw these in a store, and I was like, I like those.
I don't like them.
You like them so much you can't even admit that you like them.
I would never wear them. And I
No,
would
you
never,
wouldn't.
And,
But I would.
And I'll never date a girl that wears those.
Well,
This is from.
I guess you're going to be single forever.
That's why I'm single, because every girl is. This is from Suzanne C.
Her name is Suzanne.
I feel like
Is it Suzanne?
I haven't listened to these ahead of time, so we'll find out.
Okay.
Hi, I'm calling in today with a problem, and I really hope that you can help me. I'm a teacher, and I really have trouble saying no when parents ask me for additional help. I know part of my job is to provide additional services that I may not get paid directly for, but I find myself saying yes more and more to each demand, and I keep saying no to myself. I'm afraid that I'm just going to lose myself in my profession and burn out. What can I do to help draw the line?
All right, you want to take this?
Well, first of all, you can stop sounding like you work for like a sex phone. But like she sounds like
She has a
she's
nice
just
voice.
so it's not
Sexy
she's just
voice.
like help me. I mean if that's how she's talking to the parents, I'm assuming that they're asking for other extra services. How do you not lose yourself in work? That's the main question. She's afraid to take more work.
She's been saying yes for additional help with these students,
Yes.
and she doesn't want to. I think that's part of being a fucking teacher. Help the students. If you don't want to do it, get a different job. That's your job.
I think that there is a healthy balance between saying yes and having boundaries. And if you don't have enough time to take care of yourself, then you're not going to be a good teacher. So do as much as you can. And if you feel like you're getting overworked, set up those boundaries and say, I'm really sorry, I don't have any more time this month. Take care of yourself. Because if she doesn't take care of herself, she's not going to be a good teacher.
That seems reasonable. I'd like to hear the details. To me, like, if that's the case, you're right. But in my mind, she's just being lazy and doesn't want to do any extra
She
work.
just said she doesn't want to get lost in her work. She doesn't want her work to become everything. You didn't listen to her. Just like a typical guy, you were imagining her naked. And I'm telling you,
She
that
sounded
was,
chubby. She sounded like a chuckle fucker. I don't want to.
definitely
I'm
did
not
not. She
imagining
sounded like she was in her
naked.
underwear when she was making this phone call.
That she did sound like that in her chubby, big underwear that I don't want anything
She
a part
said
of.
she was felt like
You know what,
she was scared she was going to get
Suzanne?
lost in her work.
Send us a picture. Next week, I want to put a picture right here. Send us a picture of yourself in your underwear for us to use on the next episode.
Don't teach children in your underwear. But honestly, for anybody who's like scared they're going to get lost in their job, I've been there. That I've been so consumed, I haven't had any time for myself. And then you eventually, crack, and then you're good at nothing, and then you're
Hasn't
broken.
COVID-19 been so amazing for not getting consumed in comedy? I don't know about you.
I was working. I was actually so busy the first 2 months because we were working on the game show. We were just writing, and then Byron and Funny or Die with NBC, we put together the Feeding America benefit. And not only was I one of the
that's right.
producers on it, I was in it too. So that I was working 13, 14-hour days.
So you've had 1 month only.
I've actually only had 2 weeks off.
Oh, wow. Has that been great? I've had 3 months off.
Has that been great?
At first it was, I was fighting
Nerve-wracking.
it, but now I'm like,
You're embracing it.
I'm embracing it's nice, and that
That competitiveness.
that competitiveness is gone. When
Yes.
you see someone do something, you're like, why am I not doing that? That's all gone.
It's coming back. You don't think it's coming back? I noticed that.
Well, a little bit, but still no one's doing much. Like a few people are going on
Right.
the road, and a little bit of that feeling of I'm never doing enough.
No,
has
but
gone
I feel
away
like
quite
that
a
with
bit.
social media because everybody's fucking TikToking their ass off, or everybody's doing this and they're constantly creating. And they're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And now I feel like, well, I'm not doing that.
Right now, you still feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's less. I know.
I did this
yeah.
thing before, actually even before Corona, where I unfollowed every comedian muted.
Muted him,
I
yeah.
muted every comedian.
Great. It is so good.
was
I
just
never look at anyone's feed.
Yeah.
It's I do look at the stories of my close friends, but it is,
Yeah.
yes, almost every day I have to put somebody on mute because I'm like, I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, whether it be politics or, I mean, here's the thing. It's not bitterness. It's just I don't care about what show you're doing. I'm not going to go to your show to watch it.
It's just not healthy for you
yeah, it's
anyway.
not healthy,
There is,
so.
look, everybody has to remember there's enough for everyone, whatever industry you're in. There is enough for everyone. We
Yeah.
get caught up and they're doing that, so I'm not going to be able to do it, or why aren't I doing
Right.
it? It's like, I can tell you honestly, I've had a lot of ups and downs in this industry,
Mm-hmm.
and in my 30s I was killing it, and then mid to late 30s I was doing really, really well, and then it sort of just stopped a little bit, and then early 40s it all came crashing down horrifically right after America's Got Talent. So you'd think it would be so amazing, and then I was
Right.
literally delivering groceries.
And did you do something bad towards God for this to happen?
I did.
Did you eliminate him from your what? Or did just that's just the
I
way it
didn't
goes?
accept Jesus Christ into my heart. No, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. It's just the ups and
It's
downs. Yeah.
everybody. I feel like everybody, for the most part, goes through that.
Yeah,
in
for
different,
sure.
in different ways. And then I worked on the pilots for Funny You Should Ask, still thinking this is just another one of these
Another
jobs that you're
pilot,
like,
yeah,
okay,
one-off.
great, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't even know that the pilots were going to happen. They said they were going to happen. We wrote for 4 months. But then that job got me to another writing job, and I was back into the writing scene again, and I was like, all right, this is great. And then we shut the pilots, and then, we got picked up for season 1, and season 1 was 131 episodes. Our seasons are massive.
Yeah.
It's syndicated. It's
Right.
you might just be hearing about it now, but it is on.
No, I've been hearing about it.
Because it's
Yeah.
literally on 5 days a week, and it was on
Mm-hmm.
CBS this past year from 2 and 2:30, and now in the fall it's going to be on right before Family Feud, 5 and 5:30. So
It's great. Moving up.
It's finally getting there. It takes a long time, and it's like a well-oiled machine. But again, 5 years ago I was delivering groceries.
Yeah.
And then 5 years before that I was killing it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm just killing it. I was headlining. It was just great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's basically just whatever path you're on, just if this is what you want to do, just
If you
stand.
keep doing it, it'll work out.
It's going to work out.
Yeah, if you keep doing it, you're cool to be around, you're talented, something will happen.
Something will happen, but
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is the compare and despair mentality that we all have. It's like we're looking at other people and we're like, why aren't I doing that? But that's their path. Like,
Yeah.
who the hell knows what path you're
Sure.
on? You might
Yeah.
get calf implants and someone's going to
I hope
notice you
so.
on the street.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, I also do comedy.
And then I get a magazine.
You get a magazine. Your special is called, Calf Time. It's like your half calf. I
Oh,
mean, you could do
man.
so many calf
Oh
jokes.
my gosh.
This might be
This
why
is-
I'm on your podcast today.
That's the life I want. The calf life.
Who doesn't want that?
That's my new podcast, Calf Life with Ari Mannis. Let's do one more call. This is from Ryan Bergman.
Hi there.
That's
I just moved here and I'm
sounds
having a
even
really
sexier.
hard time adjusting at work. I'm at a new store and the team that is there is already really tight knit and they are not interested in having anyone else become a part of their team, and I can't figure out how to wedge myself in to make any friends.
well. Why do all the callers sound like they're in bed? They're all
I
just
think
like-
they are. That's the people who need our help.
So Ryan feels like she's having a hard time fitting in at work, and she doesn't know how to insert herself into these cliques. Is that what you got out of it?
That's what I got. I think it's, from my perspective, it's because you sound, Ryan, not you. Ryan sounds like a loser. And I think, and I mean that I mean
In the
that as your
meanest way
friend.
possible.
I mean it as but tough love. I mean this is tough love. If you want people to want to hang out with you, you got to be fun to be around, and you got to have your own shit going on to where oh, Ryan's so cool. Let's see if Ryan wants to hang out. But if you're like, oh, I just moved here and I need friends and you guys are all in your own cliques. Yeah, no one wants to be around you like that. I don't. I know I don't.
No,
I
no.
just on that one call, I would never invite you out.
You wouldn't.
So that's just, that's a little tough love.
That was tough.
Grow up, Ryan.
I'll take a softer approach.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an asshole and I don't feel insecure because I have big calves. I was
good.
very popular in high school and you were obviously not.
That's
so
true. How did you know that?
by that amazing outburst you just had of tough love. Ryan,
love.
just honestly, I did like what you said. Create things in your life. Create things in your life. Don't worry about what they're doing. But when you hear them making plans, just invite yourself. Invite yourself.
Oh.
What? Why is that bad?
I mean,
Would you say no if someone was like, oh, hey, are you guys going to the
I would
bar?
uncomfortably say yes and then be like,
Yeah, but then maybe you get to know Ryan and Ryan's pretty cool.
All right. Yeah, if you have the confidence to be pretty cool after inviting yourself to it, I don't have that kind of confidence. I've never invited myself to anything in my life, but maybe that's why I don't have a lot of friends.
Also,
So,
Ryan, if you have friends outside of work, and I'm hoping that you do, sometimes you're just not friends with people at work, and that's okay too. No one likes Ari at the Comedy Store, and he's fine with that. So I'm saying it's like
that
you can
true?
have a life outside of your job. Sometimes your job is just your job.
right. Yeah, that's true.
Everybody likes you there,
Thank you.
except
You
for
too.
one person.
More than one. You know what else I have? Bumble Friendship.
No, they don't. What?
Yeah, I've never used it.
Who
but
has that? Bumble has
Bumble. You could download Bumble and not use it for dating. There's like a
Oh.
friendship section of it.
They still want to fuck you.
I've never used it.
Oh, I
then
mean,
why
I
would they
guess-
do? No,
I
I
mean,
don't think
just
they
a li-
do. I don't
oh,
think they
right.
do want to fuck you because it's like they have the dating for people who want to fuck,
I'm gonna have to look at that.
and they have Bumble for friends. And maybe Friendster or Meetup.com.
Yes,
there's-
meetup. Go sign up for something that you
There's
enjoy doing.
There's some meetups
Definitely.
that I've been very tempted to go to. I haven't because
there's like
I'm
that-
not a loser named
Yes.
Ryan who doesn't have any friends. But
You are literally
I'm
sending
just
Ryan
kidding.
to the
I was
bottom.
just trying to be mean. I'm sure you're great, Ryan. But I wanted to go to. There's this outdoor one where they teach you how to make a fire with your hands.
Oh, that's
on
cool.
Meetup. I've wanted to do that,
That's
but I
cool.
haven't. And then there's a ping pong one. I
That
like ping pong
sounds
a lot.
dumb. Do not tell girls that you go to a ping pong meetup.
I mean, what if that's how I met the girl
Well,
of my
then
dreams?
you
at that
guys are
ping pong
meant for
meetup.
each other. Then you're meant for each other.
Or there's like a reptile meetup. I would love to meet a girl who's into snakes.
Well, yeah, actually,
Ping pong. If there's a girl out there who's
ping pong
into ping
and
pong and
snakes.
snakes,
Is there a meetup group where you play ping pong with
your
snakes?
snakes, that's the meetup group I'm starting.
You should, start it.
There's going to be 6 people in that meetup
Six? You
group.
think there's going to be 6?
There's going to be 3
So there's
people.
going to be one
There's going to
person.
be one other person, and that's my wife. Unless she's a chubby alcoholic chuckle fucker, then spatch.
I'm surprised there isn't a chuckle fucker meetup group.
We've had so many good ideas on this podcast that I think people
You should
do.
change the name to like the
Good
invention.
ideas?
Yes, the invention podcast.
This episode is that. Before we get out of here, do you have a story? You talked about how you've had a lot of ups and downs in your career, and even since I've known about you and we've been in the same world, I've seen you get on America's Got Talent, and then I wasn't aware of this, but you said you had some slow years after that, and then now you're writing on a show and you're starring in you're a weather girl, which is, I feel like every girl's dream is to be a weather girl, and you get to be
it was
a funny.
not my dream, but yeah,
Well, I mean, I
it's
don't know
not
how
my
it
dream
isn't.
only because
Weather girls are hot.
Well, yeah, they sausage me into these little like outfits.
Yeah, you're like a hot
I'm like
MILF weather.
I'm a MILF.
Funny weather MILF.
I like
That's
you say MILF, but I don't even have a kid yet. So
Well, you're on your way.
that's
I want to be a MILF.
I'm trying to be a fucking
you
MILF. I don't want to be a
MILF.
cougar anymore. I want to be a MILF.
You're a hot wannabe MILF. You're a MILF that's never had to have a baby come out of their body.
Right.
Lucky
but
you.
Can still be, yeah.
I've always said, like, if I get married, I don't want her to have a baby. I want to be rich enough to where we could just pay a
someone else to have a
surrogate
baby.
so that her vagina doesn't get all messed
And that
up.
she doesn't have to stop drinking.
I want her perfect pussy.
Right. And women love that. She could have a C-section.
Then she has a C-section scar. I
you
want her
can't look at
body
that?
to remain. I could, but it's
Intact.
like I care
You just
about
want-
her
you-
enough
right,
that
you want her body to look
I
intact
want her body
so
to
that
be
when
perfect for her.
But what if she gains,
And now I'm the sexist bad guy misogynist for saying that because I care about a
No.
woman's body.
That's right. No, I don't think a lot of women looked at it like that. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you pointed it out so we can really...
Just as I would expect for her to want me to.
You said that you were looking for someone so that you could just give up and gain a whole bunch of weight so that she loves you unconditionally. I remember that.
Yeah.
Women never forget anything.
It's going to be hard. I'm very specific in what I want. It's going to be hard to find. She has to love reptiles and
ping pong.
and be okay with my gut and never want a baby so she could have a perfect pussy. Okay, so you've had a lot of ups and downs. You're now writing on a show. You're a hot milfy weather girl. How long have you been doing comedy for?
24 years.
In your 24 years of comedy, what has been your biggest moment of upset or regret, where even might not be a regret now, but in the moment you were like, man, I just fucked that up and that would have changed my life, something like that, or an audition or something where you're like, you were very upset about?
I don't think I have any regrets. Like,
everything happens for a reason. Now you're doing great. But was there a moment?
No.
Was there a moment where you were like, man, damn it, why'd I do that?
yes. Yeah, there was a moment for sure. And it was when I started comedy. I started comedy in New York at 24. And I did it only to further my acting career because I was an actress. I was doing musical theater and I was doing television in New York as much as you can, like soap work, and I was on Law and Order and like one episode of Sopranos. They were the only shows on in New York.
Those are all such milfy things to have done when you were young.
So milfy. So I got into comedy to further my acting career. I didn't even want to do comedy at all.
And you see a decent amount of that. And then
Yes.
sometimes they end up loving comedy and that becomes their
The
passion.
truth is that the comedy was just constantly flowing. Like every time I tried to get out of it, everybody just kept booking me. I kept getting booked, and I was like, "But I'm an actor. Like I just wanted to be an actor that could do comedy." And eventually, I had to change it to a comic who can also act, comedian who could act. But I think the regret that I have, and I'm trying to get over this, to be honest with you, is that I look at a lot of my younger peers, and they started early and they like fucking hit the ground running. Like they did, everything was like, getting up 5-6 nights a week, staying out. Like I didn't do that, even when I moved out here because I wanted to be more of an actor. But I also spent a lot of my 20s, I was bartending in Hoboken, and then I was bartending out here in Hermosa Beach, and then a little bit in Hollywood. And I was, it was a great way to like sort of establish my group of friends. I was like Ryan, and I wanted like my friends. And it really took me a long time. It wasn't until I was about 31 that I really got incredibly serious. I was serious about my career in my 20s, but not like some women.
You're like lazy serious.
I feel like I would
You weren't
bartend.
driven enough.
I wasn't driven enough as far as like, I wouldn't give up a shift bartending to do a show. I did a lot of shows in New York, but I wouldn't give up shifts. I was, you know what I mean? I was more about making the money and I was doing comedy, but I was like, going on auditions during the day. I don't think I was as driven as I should have been. And yes, everything happens for a reason, and I wouldn't have had the experiences that I've had now. I might have moved out to California earlier than I did, or maybe I would have never moved out to California. I mean, there's reason for everything if you believe that. But I think that's something that I've had to work on, like letting go of like, that was my journey. This is still my journey. I might not have what, so-and-so has. I have more than that person, but this is where I'm at. Like that was a regret for a really long time.
But that's a good takeaway. It's not the most positive, but if you're out there listening and you know what you want to do, go full force.
Go full force.
Give up your bartending shift.
Yes,
give up
exactly.
those few $100s, and do what your heart tells you should always do.
I mean, the truth is like, now I'm in an age. Like when I was younger, I wasn't at the comedy clubs all the time, even though I had the energy to be, because I didn't care. I was like, I'm not gonna network. That's a regret too. I should have networked more.
Yeah, I mean that's something. It's so easy to say in retrospect, and
I know.
there's every night I'm like, oh, I should be hanging out, but I'm not. I also gotta know my strengths and weaknesses. I'm not saying these are yours, but for me, it's like I don't know how to network. I don't know how to walk up to a stranger and say hi and meet them. Well, I need to learn how to do that. Yeah. Thanks for doing the podcast,
Thanks
Jodi.
for having me.
Check out her podcast, which is
Don't Call Me Ma'am.
Don't Call Me Ma'am, because Jodi hates the military and is not a patriot of the United States of America.
I don't think that's it, but okay.
And check out her show that she writes for, which is called...
Check out Funny You Should Ask.
Funny You Should Ask.
And The World's Funniest Weather.
The World's Funniest Weather. Thank you. God bless America. God bless the United States.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.